God's not in the business of saying, if you do it, I'll do it. Because that's a responsive grace. So God says, I wait on you. You do, then I'll do. It cheapens the grace of God. Also, it places a separation between you and God. And there's a lot of people who have an unnecessary separation between God's action and their action. They believe that God won't move till I move, or God won't do it until I do it. And I don't think we need that separation. To help us with this, I want to take you to one of the more under-preached moments of the powerful radicalness of God's grace and its necessity in God's believers. Go to 1 Corinthians 15 and watch the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 15 verse 9. I'm just going to read a couple of verses, and I want to show you something that, and we're going to all just be challenged together this morning. Is that good? We're going to be challenged to think a little bit. We're going to be challenged to let the Holy Spirit do some developing in our hearts. I am the least of the apostles. Who were some of our apostles from Galatians 2? Peter, James, and John, pillars of the church, right? So Paul's going back to that same theme. He's at the end of his letter to Corinth. He says, I'm the least of the apostles. Actually, I'm not even worthy to be called an apostle because I persecuted the church of God. Here's my past. Here's my testimony. I don't even really feel worthy to call myself on par with Peter, James, and John. They got their history, but man, do I have mine. I killed people. I killed Stephen, stoned him to death for the cause. No doubt Paul lives in regret every day of his life. There's probably many nights he wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he sees Stephen in a nightmare, looking up into heaven, seeing Jesus. And Stephen knows what he's done. Not worthy to be called an apostle because I persecuted the church. By the grace, now watch this, but by the grace of God, I am what I am. He does not, he's done talking about his past. Here's who I was. Here's who I am based upon God's grace. And I think every believer should start here. We've all given our testimony, and there's a right time to do that. But every believer should start here. What am I today because of God's grace? Not just what was I delivered from, or what did I used to do, or what sin did I used to commit, but what am I today? And can you answer that question today? What am I today because of God's grace? Don't tell me who you used to be. A lot of us can't even define ourselves if we have to lose our testimony. We'll say, well, I used to be an alcoholic. I used to be a drug addict. I used to be an atheist. All of that's what you used to be. But what are you? I am what I am by God's grace. Whatever I am, it's only because of the grace of God.